are a chosen generation.
I still would like to just listen to music for the entire show. Great song. All right, as we move on, this driven young lady sees herself as a generational curse breaker, an agent of change. She loves to write, she loves to read, and she has inspired others. She now finds herself developing an interest in public speaking as well. A young woman chasing the heart of God. We welcome Kimone McLoud to Smile Jamaica. Kimone, good morning. Welcome. How are you?
Hi, morning, Neville. Thank you for having me. I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I can't complain. Give thanks, and thanks for asking. Before where you are now, tell me who was Kimone McLoud.
Well, the Kimon before now was very stressed, very depressed. She was very negative. You know, the Kimon before now, she used to love partying. She used to love gambling. You know, she grew up in the country, so, you know, she was very rough, you know, what some would call a country bumpkin and also a tomboy, you know. I was, yeah, as I said before, I was very negative. Like there was no form of positivity in me. I was hopeless, depressed, as I stated before.
Why?
Just the circumstances of life. How I grew up in immense poverty. There was not much around me to be hopeful for. You know, also because the persons around me, they weren't very encouraging. You know, they were degrading. You know, what we see around us every day is what we accept, and I just accepted what everyone else was doing as my reality, you know, just the gambling, the partying, you know, that life, everyone was negative. They didn't dream beyond their circumstances, and that's just what I had settled for. And that caused me to be very depressed, you know, because I always was a big dream. I always wanted to achieve more. When I see that I was in a position to do that, that also led me to depression.
Yeah. In reading your story, and I kind of knew what you told me just now, but part of it you said not many people knew what you were going through because you always wore a smile. How were you able to do that and being depressed and doing all these things? How were you able to do that?
I mean, if anyone knows me, they really know that I love to laugh. I'm always laughing. So even though things might be hard, you know, when I go around my friends, when I go around people that, you know, just are fun and jovial, they always make me laugh, or I always try to find the joke in every situation. Even in my own circumstances, I would always just laugh about it and joke about it. And my friends would be like, oh, when are you going to take life seriously? Don't you see how things are now? And when I'm by myself, I cry. Like, I cry a lot. But when I'm around persons, that's when I just laugh, because I don't want them to see me down. I don't want them to see me like that. And as I said, I'm always that person that inspires. When I speak, everyone is motivated and stuff like that. So I don't want to see them. I don't want them to see me looking weak or vulnerable or anything like that. So I just always smile, you know?
Yeah. Again, your story tells me that you used to go to church and then you stopped going to church, but God, church, had a reason, a big reason, you changed. Why did you stop going to church and what made you want to go back?
All right, so what made me stop going to church? So when I was living in the country, I grew up with my grandparents. And you know how grandparents are, they are always spiritual, they always go to church and stuff like that. So I was forced to go to church every Sunday. And then I moved from the country and came to live in Kingston with my mother. Well, my mother wasn't as spiritual as my grandparents. We didn't go to church. There was no church nearby. So I eventually just got into that norm. And then I just stopped going to church. What led me to go back to church now was after I realized that everything was just complicated, nothing was going my way. I could not figure out things on my own. And then life was just starting to get extremely hard. I did not know what to do. I really didn't know what to do. And I found myself one day just lying in my bed, you know, and I just crying out to God. And I said, God, what kind of life is this? Is this how things are going to be? I need a change. I need something to, you know, to help me to get out of this loophole. And I remember just having someone I knew that died, and I went to the funeral. It was a church in my community, and when I went to that church, even though it was a funeral, I found myself liking the church. So I started to visit regularly. Then when I went to church, I found that it was an escape. I was away. Every time I go to church, I always came home feeling better. I always just felt, you know, pumped up to take over the world, you know, just to take on life and stuff like that. So I just started to do it constantly because I wanted that true fulfillment.
Yeah. Was there anything specific that made you think this is where I want to be?
I mean, also, I started mentorship, and when I started mentorship, there were a few young ladies there. Most of them were Christians already, and they were going to church and stuff. Just the shift in environment and the shift in persons that I started to hang around, they were God centered, they were driven young ladies, and I wanted to be like that. They were, just fearful, and they wanted to do things out of the ordinary, and I just wanted to, be around that. So I think that the persons that I started to hang around, played a vital role in that as well.
Tell me who Kimone is now.
Well, Kimone is an author. She's a certified Christian life coach. She's a student at the University of the West Indies, pursuing a degree in journalism. She loves writing, she loves reading, she's a Jesus girl, she loves God. I want to do things, everything in her life is solely dependent on God and pleasing God.
Christianity easy?
No, it's not easy. But they always have to pick a struggle. And when you know that this struggle, I would say a struggle, because I know that, at the end of it is fulfillment, at the end of it is eternity. So I know that, everything that I'm doing now is working for my good, and it's going to work accordingly,
And how difficult is that? I mean, we hear of temptation, all of us have that, but how difficult? You're a young person, you're a nice woman, and people will be looking at you and talking to you. How difficult is it for you to stay where you want to stay, where you want to be, where you are now? How difficult is that, if difficult at all?
Well, it is difficult. I'm not going to say it's not difficult, but what I've learned is that accountability is good. The persons that you have around you might sometimes when you feel a certain way, or when things start to arise and you feel like you're gonna fall, the accountability will keep you in check. Also, spending time in the Word, just reading the Word of God and reaffirming yourself, reassuring yourself that this is what God says, and what He says is final. It's not what you want. Everything is not dependent on you. It's really not about you.
Yeah.
So that helps you to stay focused.
Your story is a great one, but unfortunately, the earlier Kimone, there are so many of you out there right now. What do you say to those people out there who may be going through even more than you had gone through? What do you say to young people, not even young people alone, to people who are struggling now and depressed and all that? What do you say? What do they do?
Just don't give up. There is hope. Just keep dreaming. Dream bigger than your reality. Dream without limits. There is always some space for improvement. Life is not going to stay the same way forever. Just believe in yourself. Also, find someone that, will help you. You can't go to somebody that cannot help you. They say blind can't lead blind. So you need to find someone that can pull you, because sometimes you just need someone to believe in you. And sometimes I know, you have trust issues and stuff like that, but there's always that one person that is around you. There's always that one person that is watching you and stuff like that. So you can speak to them and ask them to help you, or they'll be able to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the light. Can still see you. You're good. So you're all right now. You're all right now. There are still things you want to achieve, I suspect, because you're still at school and stuff. So talk to me about that as we come to the end of the interview.
I'm fine now. Well, I want to be a journalist. I want to do what you do. Never want to be a TV host. Well, I always had that desire. I also want to write more books. I want to do speaking. I love to speak. I love to share my story to, just impact others, and to just share about God and help them to come to know who Jesus Christ is, because, He alone will help us through these trying times.
Yeah.
Also, I want to go international and just speak. I want to be an author, as I said before. I want to, just share my story and stuff with everyone.
Yeah. Tell me about the book. Where can we get it? What's the name of the book?
All right, so the book is called Living a Royal Reality Teen Edition. It's written by 11 courageous teen girls, where we share our stories, we share stories that will impact others to live their God-given purpose and live out their identity. The book is available on Amazon. Also, it's available in Jamaica. If you want to purchase, you can always reach out to me at my Instagram or Facebook page, or there's a page for the book as well. It's called Living a Royal .reality, and my Facebook page is Kimone McLoud, or Instagram is Kimmy_Kims18.
Fantastic story. I'm very happy that I spoke with you this morning. I'm impressed with what you have done, where you're coming from. I'm not impressed that you want to take my job. And if I didn't know that before, I probably wouldn't do the interview. But I look forward to seeing.
I want to replace. I want to work alongside you. That works.
Aye, come on. You come out tight, nice. But I look forward to seeing you on television. You're obviously a very confident person, and I'm happy you are where you are. Stay safe. God bless you and your family. All right, take care.
Thank you, and likewise.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot, Kimone McLoud. Fantastic story. And as I said earlier, a lot of us are going through these things, and hopefully you would have got something out of that interview and know that you'll be fine.